Welcome back to Dark Heresy, Knights of Ascalon. Pay me, no I'm kidding. Pay attention during the game and remember, first round of combat, we have no timing. Second, you only get 15 seconds. Then we will skip it, and you have to roll before your turn comes up. When we have role-playing scenes, only role-play and describe your character. You can use your Inquisitor's influence. You can use your Inquisitorial rosettes to leverage authority. You can also do whatever you want. If we're in a scene, assume that time is progressing always. So if you're not doing anything, time is just rolling and you're just staring out into the air. And you are in a dark and dank cavern. Door is open. There are several lights outside. The light floods in. There is a dim yellow light on the floor. The room is cold from the draft, from air coming in from the cavern. You can smell this molten metal, and you can almost smell the crisp, melted plasteel of the charges and wires here. There are some of them have blown and there's smoke outside. This took a toll on this installation. It is still powered and the central column lights up. The cogitator is still active. There is a small dim text on the screen, and you can see a what looks like just a lifeless ragdoll on the floor. It looks tragic, sort of mangled, wrapped up in a strange position. This is Miriam, only wrapped in a blanket. Juno is standing by the cogitator. He leans down, looks inside, seemingly confused. He keeps talking about going further, not giving up.
I would like to interrupt you, sir. Juno's knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. And then you eventually knock him out. You're carrying him over your shoulder, Ugg. And at that moment, Ugg, can you describe for us what we would see if we look at your character right now?
Ugg is a hulking ogre, even more battle-scarred than he was before. His blood still seeping out of holes in his armor from fighting horrifying Xenos from the depths of his nightmares. He's bleeding heavily, he's smoking slightly, he's healed somewhat, but it looks nervous and angry.
Castillo.
He has his... It says it's
Ulrich.
Yeah, he's... Ulrich is starting to come to, but his face is a mangled mess. He's missing he has a mangled leg and he is looking rough. My head. And that's basically all he says.
Castillo.
Castillo looks broken. His frontal light carapace almost shattered, only being held on by bits of the leather and some of his muscle effectively getting dug into by the carapace shards, forming a sort of pinching hold onto his chest plate. His left arm still semi-mangled, protecting Sam Spader earlier in the day. And he is there, attempting to be a stalwart judge that he is, but it's taking a toll. Simply standing up tall.
Morgan.
Morgan is currently sitting in the seat in front of the cogitator. Apart from, quite frankly, a bit of grime in her hair, on her face, a little tiny trickle of blood that you can see just coming down from her side where she was hit earlier on in the day. She's actually looking not too bad, not really overly concerned, and is currently fielding with a refractor field with a piece of metal that she's picked up from that was blasted off one of the cogitators, just sort of poking around, and you assume seeing whether or not she can get it fixed, or could just be, well, occupying herself. You're just not 100% sure. And apart from that, Maurice is just sitting on the back of the chair, just basically scanning the room, and you know from previous experience that everything is being recorded.
Wonderful answer.
That's it.
Sam.
Sam's leaning up against a wall. He's taken off his trench coat and his wife beater, as well as his more excuse me, as well as his top, and he's currently bandaging himself up, wincing at the pain, kind of snarling at his in his frustration at not being able to bypass the previous countermeasures. Truly, this is an intellectual challenge, a game that he's losing, and by consequence, failing the mission, both for himself as well as the war band. He's just grimacing and just flaring his nose, really looking quite concerned.
And that's where we can begin. The dim light flickers and pulses. You can see shattered lumen strips casting these long, flickering shadows. As you look around, the metal grit floor is dripping with condensation. You can hear a low, distant, mechanical hum as the core of the machine still works on some unknown power source. You can hear a slight feel this slight vibration in the floor. The corpse of Miria is disturbing near the entrance. The door is open.
Sir, we should leave.
Oh, we're dog on this one. We don't really look like we can take another fight.
Sam looks down, still bandaging up his wounds, and tightens with a cinch. He puts back on his clothes, not answering you all for a few moments. And then he looks over at Morgan and Castillo. Assessment?
Well, if Og would be a deer and rip the head off one of those Necrons. I've come to get what I wanted.
Are you requiring assessment on current mission parameters or personnel?
Always the mission. If it were just a matter of personnel, none of us would be able to complete any of our requisite missions.
The current mission parameters, as to my knowledge, has been semi-completed. For full completion, we may need to continue. However, leaving at this point will constitute a basic compliance.
Well, if it's in regards to mission parameters, as my learned colleague has said, we have completed the basic amount, which is all we are required to do if we want to live long term, so...
The mission's failed, sir. The person we were sent to rescue is dead. As Ogle, meander over to the poor body of Miriam on the ground. She don't have a head anymore, sir.
Inspiration.
Sam, still reeling from the pain of the earlier trauma that he had faced, didn't even realize that she had fallen, and he looks over to the side. He goes white. When did that happen?
When the metal men came out of the coffin, sir. There were too many of them.
I was speaking rhetorically. Of course, that's when it happened, but...
The creature teleported within vicinity of the throne, bashing me aside and taking the opportunity to decapitate the Psyker.
He falls to the ground, still leaning up against the wall. His sides and torso ache as he groans and kneels and kind of kneels inward toward his knees. This cannot happen again. Whatever it takes, Castillo, Og, we must protect the mission with our lives, if need be. All of us, again, are disposable. But the mission is not.
What is the mission, sir?
With Sam sitting on the floor, Morgan's gonna walk across, hold out her hand, grab his, and start to pull him to his feet, saying, Now, Samuel, let's not be so dramatic.
What is our
aspect of this is What aspect of this is dramatic? We have failed in this aspect.
Well, we have enough. We know what it is down here. We know what has been influencing. And we know that the ecclesiarchy on this planet is corrupted, probably beyond reckoning. We also can leverage this to hopefully obtain the tablet which is upstairs, keeping it out of the hands of our enemies, and thus, I think, securing ourselves a win.
I've been thinking about the long-term ramifications of such. I don't know what to make of it, but perhaps my drive and my ambition for really getting into the nooks and crannies of this mission have overtaken my psyche. I have to admit, I was overzealous. And he looks around at the room, looks at how injured everybody is. He ponders for a second, holds his hand up to his face and rubs his chin. Maybe it is time.
I'm in desperate need of a new leg, by the way. This one won't do anymore. And he indicates to his mangled mess of a leg.
Og,
Yes,
do it.
Do what?
Hop to it. Pick him up.
Oh, I'm going.
And-
Yep. He's. Of course, I'll pick him up.
I think that we ought to reset these obstacles that we've disabled on the way, lest somebody else make their way down here and accidentally trigger something that we do not want loosened. And Sam walks over to one of the cogitators and starts the process of doing so, more speaking aloud than anything else. Again, trying to refocus himself on task and muttering something to himself under his breath.
I shall enact Morale Rule 17. Humor. If it's of any
What?
consolation from Castilio, there is no way of knowing the amount of trouble these metal creatures were to be. At least, not the amounts in which they would show.
What?
I have enacted Article 17 of morale boosting. I have used wordplay upon my own name.
All right, sir. Ha, 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 ha.
Fantastic
gonna walk away from
compliance.
Yo, to go rip the head off of one of the Necrons for Gun.
My head
You do
hurts
so.
too much to even think about what you're saying. And he groans and puts his head over his hand over his head.
I am surprised you are able to have cognitive thought at all.
All right, sir.
The Vader.
Could I carry the body as well, sir?
No, just the head will suffice.
All right. Og will hand you the head.
And you will literally see Morgan's arms almost come out of her sockets. And can't. Well, I suppose we should get going. Mind your toes.
Sam
I
finishes
shall
up.
assist you. Do you require assistance with lifting the head?
No.
As a psyker, you require both hands to perform. I require one. Give it to me.
Here you go.
I acquire it.
Sam
Castillo
reestablishes
runs.
the subroutines and safety protocols that the cogitator formerly ran, and it ensures that access both to this device as well as anything else that we had previously accessed is coded to our signature. He finishes away and buttons it up with a final keystroke. It's keyed.
Samuel
All right.
Spade. Do you require me to perform traditional duties of undercover operation, i.e. arson of current position?
Belay that. We do not know what exactly we may be further interrupting in the process of doing so. For all we know, this could be a central process of whatever it is, whatever greater machinations this structure may provide. We could be burning down a subroutine of great consequence to the... Oh, sorry about that. Great consequence to the purpose of this vault, of this jail, whatever it may be.
Of course.
As
Do you wish me to make note of this position for future scrubbing?
Do so. And Sam, with a wave of his trench coat, cinches it once more and moves out. One glove.
Castillo, sir.
Yes.
I think you require a weapon, yes?
I have a shotgun.
I think all your ammo exploded, didn't it?
No.
Alright.
Currently, the clip that I have within the gun itself has not exploded. I have 7 rounds. This shall be sufficient for one engagement.
Alright, sir. Alright, we're leaving now, yes? We're getting the hell out of here?
Castillo will stand attention next to Sam Spada.
Sam, putting back on his gloves, points outward. Let us depart. And he starts striding forward.
You walk out of the vault. As you step on the ladder, you hear this creaking sound from the metal giving in. You look down the chasm. It is endless darkness. You walk across it and stand in the open. There is a path that goes further in through the mountain, and apparently it looks like it leads somewhere to the exterior. This is an old cave, hasn't been used in a long time, and you mark the topography of your map, and we're not exactly sure where it would exit, but you will begin mapping that path as far as I've understood. And so any of you can do a navigate service test, and I'm going to give you a +10 on that for all the tools you have.
Sam will take this one. Is anybody going to lend aid?
Yeah, I'll lend aid.
Okay, so Sam breaks out the data slate, starts crunching away at the numbers, looking at the various gradients and probability of where the exit may lead, given the level surfaces and the above ground topography. Success with 6.
Well, at first, you find a path that seems to lead up into the Ardenti base, and then through their basement, which was under construction at the time when this map was made, leads down to a cave. Then that cave leads to the exterior, but you manage to find a submerged tunnel that is still open. It could have icy water. The last report says that it was quite cold. You do have environmental suits with you, there is an aqueduct, centuries old, collapsed, that created an old cavern. There's also a cistern down there. It was used by the Mechanicus during construction. It leads in various directions as they were digging while they were constructing this underground base. You map that out, and the workers had an exit during construction. If that exit still exists, and the type of rock indicates that it probably does, then that would provide a safer exit. First, you have to ascend to the second floor, one level up. As you begin your ascent, there are shattered imperial constructions, and you can see jagged rock sticking out of this imperial design. Crumbling walkways and broken scaffoldings. As you walk further away from the noises of the Ardenti looking for you, you can hear their shouts in the distance. You run into one of the side caverns and just keep walking and walking until all you hear is your footsteps. I want one of you to roll a random event die, D100. First roll counts.
I'll do it, I guess.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh. No, Mike's got it.
50.
Fastest roll in the West.
Ah!
Ooh. Okay. Noted. You, continue through a pretty dark cave. And you will see a stream of water nearby. As you keep walking, you will see that the Imperial construction is almost completely gone. They didn't put much effort into building anything here. This seems to be a natural cave. And it continues. You see rusted ladders and chains leading down to the level where they were building the cistern. And I want you all to do an athletics test at -20. But first, you can all do a survival test if you want with a -30. So consider whether it's any point for your character.
Don't have any of them.
Okay.
Does Mike need to do one? Because I'm holding him.
Mm,
And does that incur any penalties?
you can only carry one person while you're climbing.
I can only. Okay.
Good. I can wait.
Well,
so you can,
we'll
like, go
we'll
up.
scale it multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go come back down for you. So I'll take Juno first because he's unconscious. What was the subtraction from athletics? Sorry.
30.
So it'll be a -20 athletics.
What?
Minus 20.
I rolled
Just-
survival because I thought you said acrobatics. But
Totally
I failed
fine.
4.
Anyone
I
can
failed
attempt
with-
a survival test if they want.
I failed with 4.
If it's
Oh,
a
yes.
climb test,
Technically, still
if it's a
have
climb
to-
test, we still have the grapple on line and the clip and drop harness that we can reuse.
You can use
Um,
that also with a -20, with a different type of test. So you can
Okay.
choose.
So Sam will give the line over to Og and command him, Og, carry this upward and find a secure place, or simply hold the line yourself while the rest of us come up. Is this
All right, sir.
very good?
Sam,
I
and
think
just start scuttling up the wall.
I think Castillo will once again do the harness method on the rope to allow for easier carrying of those that are weak.
You can hear the trickle of the water, the stream in the distance, and as you look down, these old chains and rusted ladders squeak as you touch them. As you see Og begin to climb, you can hear the ladder whining and squeaking as he moves from side to side. Suddenly, there's a tang as one of the steps of the ladder breaks. A cloud of rust, bronze, slowly flows down to the floor of the cave. You look down, Og, correcting your stance and your hand as you carry. Who was it? Ulrich at this point?
I'm carrying Juno right now. I'm gonna come back for Ulrich.
I'm gonna say Juno went fine, and Ulrich is the one where the first step breaks. The ladder is unstable. You climb down, but it is not safe.
Fine. I'll climb back up with the harness, and then I'll stand there and help you all.
You clip on the harness, and as they begin to pull you, it becomes apparent very quickly that no one is strong enough to pull you up effectively. The smooth...
no, I thought I thought I was the one that was up, and everybody else was still down.
Oh, I thought you lowered yourself. Okay, so you did not climb.
No.
No, I'm on top, and I'm gonna pull people up. Castillo got up on his own. I took up Juno. I took up Ulrich, and then I'm standing at the top with the harness
one by one
to help.
And I want you to do a -30 strength test.
Can I assist?
This is assuming everyone helps him.
Success with 2 additional.
Awesome. You can choose one by one who you lower down.
I hate to say this, but I failed my survival with 4 failure.
Totally fine. It was an optional roll.
Oh, thank God for that.
Well, I'll start with Sam, and then I'll go Morgan, and then anybody else who needs to be lowered down.
On the way down, you have to adjust it and pull it back and forth. The rope slides on a sharp edge. You have to lift it up and hold it there to make sure it doesn't break from every time it hits this edge. There's a chance that the rope will be cut off. Og, you're holding the rope up way above your head with 2 hands, and you're basically carrying the person entirely. There is no pivot point to offload the weight. And as they're dangling, it is the most strenuous thing you've experienced, and it keeps growing, keeps getting more and more difficult. And as you lower Ulrich to the floor, the rope goes back up, and you can do a -40 strength test.
Castillo will be
Success with 2 additional.
This is a strength test.
Oh, just strength. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Minus. Okay. My bad.
And
Success with 5 additional.
Awesome. You lower him safely to the ground, finally just holding him up with one hand. You're not using the rope for to offload any weight. You're just holding the weight with one arm. He's dangling from your arm effectively.
It's alright, so I'm practiced at this. Og locks the joints of his light power armor so it doesn't bend or anything. As he slowly lowers the rope 1 inch at a time. Slow and steady wins the race.
Castillo will, since he got 4 successes, I feel like he would try to climb up a little bit to assist in the rope, just to give it less, I guess, strain.
While you are doing this, Morgan is going to go, and Maurice is going to fly and sit down in front of her. She's going to take him in both hands and basically just stare at him. And while you are doing that, she's just sitting there staring at him. After a couple of minutes, you can actually feel a sort of crackling sensation. That will then be changed, and instead what you'll do, if you turn around, you'll see her form slowly start to sprout feathers, and then as her form slowly changes that into a bird.
Og looks on horrified.
Okay, so you'll see her slowly change into a bird and shrink down. And it's basically the most horrifying sound you've ever actually heard. And the raven is basically just sitting there staring at her. As she stares at it, you'll see claws slowly growing out of her hands. Her legs slowly breaking into little spindly type things. And basically then her arms, with what you can only imagine is excruciating pain, will just go into these 2 wings, and then there'll just be 2 birds, 2 ravens sitting there, and she'll turn around to the rest of the group and go and fly down to the next level.
Awesome.
Og is definitely afraid of this interaction. And if he wasn't concentrating on lowering people down, he would probably want to run away, or even jump off the cliff to get away from that horrifying scene he just witnessed.
Yeah, you'll all be left with a rather uneasy feeling.
I'm jaded. I don't care.
Same here.
It's not right. The bird. She's a bird too.
And then all you'll hear
Wait,
from
even
the lower levels is
Still yourself. You're an ogre in the service of the Emperor. You have faced tougher foes than that.
and then just as you start to lower him down again, you'll hear a cracking sound. And you can only imagine what's happening next.
Oh. You don't understand, sir. From the tribe I come from, birds aren't meant to be like that. They're evil. Not right,
You haven't
birds.
been in a real death world, Og. There everything wants to eat you and got you like a fish.
How about you be nice to me when I'm lowering you down a cliff, huh?
Get your resolve up, that's all. I didn't mean any ill will, Og.
I was gonna like shake the rope a little bit, and continue lowering people down.
Keep rolling.
Another roll. It's still strength. Still at minus 40.
Same thing.
Success with 3 additional.
Go ahead and describe it.
Oh. Failure with... Oh. Yep, just keeps lowering. I'll use an inspiration to reroll that. There we go. Success with 1 additional. Og was a part of the Imperial Guard. He's lowered an entire regiment down a cliff face before, so this is just standard procedure to him. Other than his horrible wounds of getting stabbed and electrocuted, kind of messing with his muscles a little bit, it's just kind of, it's an endurance race, basically. Just slow and steady, easy progression, nothing too hard, no swinging, simple code. Og's just humming a little song that he was taught while he was lowering people down to distract him from the pain.
You can hear the trickling of the water in the distance. The one standing on top of the cliff, you can hear the faint chatter of the people below you. Occasionally a light source will fly past the edge of this unusually jagged cliff.
Sam joins in on Og, recognizing the tune that he's singing, humming, somewhere in between. Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky. Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes all the same.
Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes. Do I need to roll again? I don't know how many more rolls. Is everybody down there now?
You do whatever you want. You are your character in a scene right now. You do what you want.
How many more people are up here? I'll look around. Is there anyone else? Just me?
I think it's just you, Og.
Yeah, it's...
Og's gonna take up the harness again, just wrap it around himself, and he's just gonna jump down.
You have 2 people left.
Oh, 2 people left? No, I rolled
no,
twice.
one.
Morgan took care of themselves. I took down Juno unconscious. Castillo took care of himself, and I took down Ulrich. So it's just Sam.
And you.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. Yep. 20. Sorry. All right. Just one more, Sam. Just real quick. Real simple, like.
As Sam is falling to his death, I'm going to try and catch him.
So as I start tumbling down this way, I'm gonna kick off the wall, see if I can match exactly the force necessary in descending to try to minimize my acceleration toward the ground, protecting my head as I fall down.
I did say that Castillo was slightly up on the wall, helping people come down.
You did say that.
Am I able to assist him?
That is very accurate. So what is happening now is that you will see Slam begin to slip, and he's sitting on his butt as he slides as if he's on a slide, and it begins to cut up his coat from behind. You see him get stuck and then ricochet off it. He hits his arm on something. It looks excruciatingly painful. He comes tumbling down, spinning down the side of the cliff. It is a horrible, horrible slide. You can use your bodyguard talent to jump and absorb the damage from the cuts.
I'm gonna do that.
Go ahead, and I will give you basically the same test as if it was a dodge. So you can do a reaction with a -20.
A dodge roll.
A dodge reaction.
Oh, I'm gonna use an inspiration for that.
Yes.
But failure with 1. I'm willing to take that.
Okay. I'm gonna say you do jump and try to catch him, However, when you do catch him, you begin to roll together as you clasp him. You mitigate some of it, but also take quite a lot of the fall. And you both tumble down the cliff and finally hit these very, very jagged rocks.
I'm gonna try angle it so so that my back plate of my carapace takes most of the brunt of it, and I'm wearing a helmet, so I'm more, less likely to get a concussion out of this.
You take 15 impact damage to your
Fantastic.
chest, ignoring armor.
Ignoring armor. Damn, that's all my healing gone.
Sam, you take 7 impact damage to your chest, ignoring armor.
You are surprisingly light, Samuel.
Sorry! The rope was gonna break.
But still quite dense, and he flexes the servo in his arm that had been damaged during the fall. This will need some patching up on the way back.
Castillo is gonna kind of unclasp you and just kind of let you go. I apologize for the delay, but I require a moment of rest.
I think we all do. Ulrich limps over and helps Castillo up and lets him lean on his shoulder.
I am experiencing impact trauma of the 3rd degree.
That tends to happen when you fall from that height. I'm not really that good either. As you can see, half my face is pretty much gone. And you basically see half of his skull from the side.
Og, now being the only one up there, is just gonna toss the harness down to the people below, get sort of ready in his armor, turn the light power armor on, and is just going to punch his fists into the wall, slow and steady as he goes down, not even using the ladder. Just sort of spider monkeying his way down the side of the cliff.
You're gonna climb?
Mm-hmm.
Do an athletics test with a -10.
Success with 8 additionals.
Og,
He's back!
describe how you do this.
Like I said, Og turns on the power armor, and every time when he doesn't have a handhold naturally on the cliff, he just punches his fist into the side of the wall to get enough leverage to lower himself down more, and repeats over and over again, horribly maiming the side of this cliff face. Clear evidence that someone ludicrously strong with power armor lowered themselves down here. Rocks sloughing off the side, probably hitting the ground and smashing, making a bunch of noise as he does so. Then eventually just lands down on the ground in a sort of a kerthump and stands back up. Sorry about that, sir. The rope was going to break. I had to just let you go.
You did your best, dog. That's all we can do. That's all we can do, but do better next time. Do much, much better. Meanwhile, he turns over to Castillo, examines his wounds. He, if you can, just stay steady. And he cracks open the armor, starts examining the punctures underneath it, and he breaks out what is left of his tattered tattered top and starts breaking it down into strips. And ooh, that looks pretty. That doesn't look good.
My
But
frontal
meanwhile-
portion. Unfortunately, your body has impacted the fragments deeper into my pectoral.
Takes off the
My-
armor and examines the front. Hold steady. This is gonna hurt.
Ouch.
You took that well.
I
Surprisingly
have been
well.
shot. My frontal chest cavity has been replaced with 33% aluminium nitride.
He leans in and starts smelling the wound. If we don't get this under more supervised and trained conditions, you may well lose even this.
Fine, sir, just shake it off.
I require approximately 1.3 minutes more.
You keep walking as you talk. There's a natural exit. A half-submerged tunnel stretching into darkness. The icy water you predicted, Sam, is here. You look down, the water is freezing cold. It's coming from a stream above, where the water is predictably frozen. It rises past your knees, and there's... You kick some sharp debris below. While the Mechanicus were building this place, they must have left some debris in the water. The aqueduct is centuries old. You can, as you look around, see collapsing archways and what was meant to be reinforced floodgates, now stuck, halfway open. As you begin to walk in, your light sources illuminate the ceiling, and you will see several signs of small holes in the ceiling where water leaks through, and the freezing water drips on your head. As you keep walking, the cold from the water begins to seep through your armor. Your feet are frozen cold. Unless you're wearing environmental protection, this is potentially dangerous. Anyone who does not have an environmental suit explicitly in their items, among their items, can do a toughness test at -10.
Would rebreather work here, or
That's a success with 3.
Success with 4. Success with 4.
You only need to let me know if you fail. Does anyone fail?
I have a rebreather. Would that work
Nope.
in this situation? Okay. And it's a toughness -10.
This is cold water.
I'm gonna take
If you don't have an inspiration, take mine.
I have 3, but
You can only have one.
Yeah, you're gonna only have one.
I'm gonna use a fate point to reroll. Things like this might be a good place to.
Don't use a fate point. You just use the
Yeah.
inspiration to reroll it.
Just use your inspiration point.
Yeah.
Always use that first.
Fate points are a lot more valuable than inspiration.
Ooh, nice. Very nice, Ulrich. What is it in you right now, or if you want to share, that is making this unusual effort from you, as your feet are just these tree trunks that you drag behind you.
So first, due to being like more at home in very hot, harsh, like volcanic planets, he at first like stiffens his muscles and just locks up, but then he slowly starts to get used to the coldness of the water and like slowly builds up body heat and goes with the party.
Castillo, I see you re-rolled. Oh, that was your dodge. Have you rolled the toughness?
Yeah. Success at 4.
Oh, I see it there. Excellent. You wade through the water. It is freezing cold, but you manage to get by.
In fact, Castillo is going to get some of the freezing water. He's gonna first test it to see if it's clean enough, and use the cold to splash it onto his frontal chest plate wound in order to give himself some pain resistance.
You begin to notice as you walk through the water, your feet turn numb. Every footstep you're lifting your feet and it becomes more and more unnoticeable that you're walking through water. You hear this slashing of water behind you. And as you walk through this dark, dank cave, I want all of you to do an agility test at -10.
Would my penalty be harsher due to me like having a mangled limb?
Everybody do the same test.
Okay.
Good question.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah! 3 degrees.
Rolling like a god.
Just
Whoa.
3.
Failure with 7.
Failure with 4.
Ay, caramba. You're wearing your power armor, Og?
Yeah, I'm wearing my power armor.
Your failures
And
don't
it's
matter.
on, so it's... Oh, cool, dope.
You will step on a series of spikes, and you just hear these crunching noises under your feet. Every time you step on something, you just seem to slide slightly. This would have cut someone's leg off, but you just walk right over it or cut through it. Sam, you're going to take 9.
Can I bodyguard Sam?
No. You can take 9 impact damage to your left leg.
Oh, it's always the left leg. Okay. You hear the sound of gurgling in the water, as there's also a plume of off red, or I guess given the light, slightly dark fluid escape from his leg.
Oh, I was about to say, sir, watch out, I think there are spikes in the water. I can hear the kringlies as Og's gonna stamp his feet and a bunch of metal pieces of the trap floats up.
Og, as you walk, you will see one of these floodgates that I mentioned. They're rusted shut, but they are on floor level. There is a chance that these could lower the amount of water here, making it easier to traverse. Do you want to try to open one of these floodgates?
Sir, do you want me to open one of the floodgates?
I want to make a tactical assessment. So Sam looks over the situation, sees if this might actually cause more harm than good, and
You do a logic test with a +10. Sorry, +20.
+20. Okay.
This is fairly easy for you to figure out.
Okay.
Morgan will come over and say, maybe look to see which way the water's going.
9 degrees. Success.
Sam, you have no problem at all assessing this. You look at the cracks in the floodgate. You look at the level of the water. There is no way, by opening this gate, that the water in your cave would become any higher. So whatever is behind it, it could only lower the level of water in the cave.
Sam does some back of napkin math. He scribbles onto his hand with a little bit of thing just to kind of... actually, if we carry the... You know what? We don't need this. He's going to clean his hands, put the marker away. Do so. I think that any degree of freedom would not change our circumstances substantially.
All right, sir. Everybody brace. Make sure you holding on to something just in case the water rushes. And Og's gonna walk forward.
Slowly.
You will,
Alric grabs
you will
onto
crack the lever down. It is rusted in your whole head. Sound as you lean down on it and hold your power armor, flexing all the way, losing some leverage on one of the rocks. You push off with your leg, and finally, you all see the water begin to flush out of the floodgates. It is a powerful stream. You all hold on, stand, or widen your stance. And as you stand there for a couple of minutes, the water begins to recede. Suddenly, the water is about half as tall. Barely reaching up to your boots, it is much more manageable. You can spend a little bit of time getting your feet dry, whatever water was in your pants and so on. You now mitigate some of the cold, and the rest of the walk is a breeze. This shallow water is easily traversed, and you can walk at normal speed again. As you continue walking and walking and walking, you see on your map, Sam, that you would be somewhere underneath the cistern that they built. You begin to smell something. It smells like rusted metal. And you keep walking and walking until finally the cave opens up into an open area. You hear dip of water. It is a large open cave. There are a few cliffs, and there are huge streams of water dripping down from the ceiling, and very sharp rocks surrounding you. As you look around, there is a strange smell of rot. And the further you go into this big room, there is a smell of chemicals. Any of you can do a lore mechanicus test at -30. Common lore mechanicus. That is the only test to see if you know what this is.
I don't got it.
It smells like cleaning fluid, I think. Something.
Smells like home. And
This is
also,
home to you? That's sad.
Well, my home was full of, it was a different time. Let's just put it that way. But it's still nostalgic to me. What was the modifier on that again?
A -30.
Okay.
I think it's on -20 actually. My bad.
I'm gonna re-roll that inspiration. Okay, used -20. So, oh, not one.
Nice.
Uy, caramba. There's not really anything. Well, you know what? There are some on the ground. There are some strange caskets. You all see them. They just look like rusted metal parts. As you walk past them some, you inspect them a little bit closer. These Mechanicus caskets have, as you look through various lenses, you begin to see the presence of a corrosive gas. You make a couple of assessments. These are chemical canisters that are leaking and potentially hazardous. There is a small cloud of corrosive gas on the floor of this of this entire chamber, across the floor grates, and it has been leaking for a long time. The area that you have to pass through is a little bit descended, a little bit on the lower level. Very, very potentially dangerous. You do, however, have the opportunity, with the knowledge of this gas, to make some kind of device that would help you see the exact concentration of them and move through passageways where it's not too concentrated. This is corrosive, and so even in environmental suits, this would be potentially dangerous, very dangerous. So, any of you can do a survival test with a -10.
Oh. Would it be dangerous to light power armor? Since it's space rated?
No, you're fine.
No.
Okay. You're fine.
You want me... If you make some sort of device, do you want me to scout ahead and figure out where it's light?
No, I think that much of this is invisible to the eye. If you were to walk across it, even you would be... Well, let's use a smaller word. It would eat you up.
Oh, okay.
Be real careful, Log.
It's hungry?
It is hungry.
I'm hungry.
Of course you are, Og. So Sam looks through his backpack and starts withdrawing from it various pieces of kit, trying to find something that we may be able to repurpose. And he's also going to mark off in his mental as well as his data slate the approximate location of this in case we can further use this in a later at a later juncture. Looks through his bag, doesn't seem to find anything that he can improvisationally create something. Too dangerous anyway, he mutters to himself. Puts all the things back into his pack and says, I think, at least for now, we shouldn't meddle with this. Too much danger. Too little reward. But perhaps later.
Sam, you or anyone else, with the map of the area that you have, you can do a Medicaid test at +10 to try to guide the group through the low gas zones.
Is there a wall that we could just cut into to just avoid all this?
You look around, Og.
Because I got a... Huh?
You look around, Og, and there are only thick cavern walls. You don't have the tools.
I've got a latch cutter.
Has anyone got any inspiration?
Sam, you get an
I-
inspiration for the last scene? You too, Og?
No.
Forgot to say it.
You can use my inspiration, sir. I've
you
got a
have
good
one,
nose
son.
for gas.
You have an inspiration, Sam.
Okay, copy. Success with 2 to guide. As we all gather together, Sam says, "Follow very, very closely," and he's going to reach out with just a pointed object. He's going to use his sniper rifle to start poking and prodding at these. Or no, he's going to use his combi tool, fully extended, and start poking and prodding various rocks, seeing if there's a hissing sound that's very subtle, or some kind of corrosion that's eroded away at any of these jagged bits. And he's going to very gently and nimbly step between various spots. He's going to say quickly, and he's going to run across a few passages, turn suddenly, make these very erratic movements, and everybody else hopefully follows along in the same way.
Awesome. Well done. You lead them past the low gas zones. As you exit, there's some residue of gas. You use whatever brush or cloth or anything you have to clean their, at least, face to make the corrosive gas less damaging over time. While you are acutely aware that this may have lowered their potential lifespan, and you've heard of cases where people die later of medical complications due to this sort of exposure, there is no immediate danger to your warband. You dust off the chemicals, and the residue creates this golden bronze glow in the air as you walk away.
As soon as we're safely beyond the effects of the corrosive and poisonous gas, Sam's gonna mutter to himself, "Damn thing could have taken years off of our lives." And with that, he pops out a low stick and lights one up. I need a moment.
As you're walking through out of this cavern, the corridor narrows, and you will see what looks like reinforced archways. There are some dormant servitor docks, old cogitator banks, and then the area continues. There's a sign. It has long since been destroyed by the corrosive gas. On the door in front of you, there is a lock that has fused entirely. The door has almost melted into its hinges. It is completely shut. You look around, and any of you can do a security test, -20.
You want me to just cut through the door, sir?
Well, let's see if there's any gas or anything like that first,
Alric
before we
just
light a naked flame.
Oh, of course, sir. Of course.
Alric just stares blindly at the security panel. What is this thing?
I believe the gas has gotten to Mike. Ulrich. Shit.
You know what? I'll join in on this massive failure. You know what?
Please be in that one.
The security. All right, so -20.
Well, God.
Whoa!
Is that even possible?
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Let's just cut through the door. I don't understand what we're all worried about.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you worried about, guys?
This is I do this all the time.
Oh.
This is my expertise.
Yeah. Chill.
Breaking doors. Sir?
Sam analyzes the situation as everybody else seems to be hemming and hawing and kind of looking with raised brows. Sam just focuses in, cold expression on his face, face still drooping on his left, almost as though he had a stroke, but no, still melted flesh. And with that, he clenches the left side of his face, the side of his face that is disfigured, and move aside. And
Alright,
he
sir.
interfaces with the panel. I think that this might do it. And he runs through various algorithms trying to figure out what exactly is the security protocol, and it was surprisingly simple. It was just a C38, and that's easy enough. He runs a few keystrokes. 2 minutes later, cling!
Awesome. A dormant power source is barely illuminating a red light above the door. It goes off as soon as you input the correct code. The door slides open, and or rather, as the mechanical lock is disabled, you just pull the door off its hinges, Og, and you discern that this area is potentially dangerous, Sam. As you enter a corridor built by the Mechanicus, they do not want anyone to enter through here. This was left by the builders who built the previous room, probably in a hurry, as the canisters and all the waste that they left behind was very hazardous. They have sealed this door and did not intend for anyone to enter. There are possibly some hazards in here. There are a few lumen on the wall, and this looks like a corridor of sorts. You look in and there could be traps or hazards there. Do a tech use test at -20. There are a few panels on the walls and some access points, yeah?
Sir, don't trigger the defenses again. Please.
Sam shoots you an absolute look of malice. He holds his tongue, and you can see a small trickle of blood leave his lips from holding back absolute fury in his eyes. And
Sam, as you look at him, you see Juno, this dark-skinned man laid over his shoulder, his black hair wet, hanging down into his eyes. His eyes begin to open slightly, and these big black domes shift around, even though his face is just covered in condensation and is wet. He begins to mumble.
Oh, he's awake again. Knock him out.
Well, I was going to say we may have just found our canary. Maybe don't just knock people out, talk.
Why, he's a heretic.
Indeed.
Should I not knock him out? I can't really take back the fist, ma'am.
No, Og. That's fine.
I don't like him. I think he's dumb. He
Sam's
talks too
taking
much.
his sweet time to examine the situation, and does some base research on what's going on here before finally tackling the situation. Plugs in, does an examination, a thorough examination of what exactly he's facing, and almost as though in a movie, he expands his finger tines and taps away at this tablet, running through various simulations and testing various ports, seeing where it is exactly that, what exactly this security system or otherwise technology may be.
Awesome.
May be interactable.
Awesome. You get an inspiration point. You see a security panel that is available and doesn't seem risky to access. You walk over to it and hook up to it. This is a security checkpoint built by the Mechanicus. It does have a security system. Tech use -20.
I can actually give you an assistance with that. So Morgan will walk over and basically sort of plug in her own data slate so that Sam actually has two to work from. And she basically, you know, whenever he actually sort of says, okay, do this, she'll just, so that he's actually got 4 hands instead of 2.
As you do the last adjustment, you will see a list come up, and it contains all the aspects of the security code. You flick through it, and you see that a timer has been running. Just as the time when you disable the security system, you hear a loud thud behind you. There is a door behind you with a possible security system that could have been very deadly. It seems to be some kind of kinetic piston trap. You look behind you, total silence. You seem to have disabled it. The corridor continues. You walk around the edge of the corridor, and there is something here that is a bit unusual. Any of you can do an awareness test at -10.
That'll be plus.
Damn.
Success with 1 additional.
Morgan, there are signs as you look down. You take a little bit of dust or whatever magic pixie dust you're carrying with you, whatever superstitious thing, you probably have a little bit of dust of some kind. As you inspect the ground, the footsteps here indicate that someone was pulled into the wall. You see boots, footprints that go into the wall and then get stuck, and then someone climbed sideways. These are recent. As you look around and inspect the footprints, they match the footprints of Juno's boots. As you inspect his boots behind Og's shoulders, could have been him.
She's going to relay this to the group as she walks round behind Og and takes his boot off, looking at it, and then going across and basically looking to see if they actually sort of match tread-wise and things like that.
It's a perfect match.
Well, he did mention that he was abducted before he reached his destination. But I'm quite sure that he said that was quite a while back.
It was also just past the entry point at the. So he lied, clearly.
That's what I mean.
He's a heretic. Of course he lied.
But people like Juno, they have a tendency to weave truth and deception all within the same sentence, all within the same phrase, all within the same word. Discernment of such requires finer touch. Morrigan.
Whatever you say, sir.
It was time to wake him up and find out exactly what is going on.
Morrigan, would it be possible for you to, I don't know the psychoterminology, but to interface with their mind while they're unconscious? Would their presence be less aware? More aware? I don't know.
I think you're looking for the term telepathically link.
Yes, it is possible, but if he's in a dream, then
it's not very safe.
It's indeed, it's not particularly safe, and also because it is dealing with his subconscious and not his conscious mind, it could just be nonsense.
And besides, we don't know if we can get out of the mind that we are linking to if they're unconscious. It's always a 50-50 chance that we get stuck in there.
Then let's find a safe enough area, maybe a room of some sort. Stow ourselves in there for the time being. Take a few moments, and between you two, you two would be the most. You two would be the most apt to dealing with this situation. See what he knows.
Indeed, but he looks as though he was dragged into this wall.
You want me to just cut the wall open?
If you wouldn't mind, maybe hitting it with a hammer, see if there's anything behind it.
No, I've got something better than that. Og is going to take out his las cutter and just go to work on the wall.
That's a bit too low, dog. We might want to do it a bit on the low side.
What? Og shouts.
You cut and cut. You cut and cut, and as you walk around, and the rest of you get a little time to inspect the place, there is a loose metal crate near the ceiling. It is big enough for someone to climb through. However, it goes back into the caverns.
I think we might want to keep this thing, and he points towards the grate or whatever it is. It seems to be linking back to the caverns. We might never know what comes back after us.
We may have also just found his way in.
Okay.
Certainly didn't come through that door. As she points
Why
to the door
does it matter?
off. It matters because if he came in via the air ducts, then he has intimate knowledge of this facility.
We already know that because he's crazy. He was already talking a bunch of stuff about how the metal men are gods or something, and how they've been here for a long time or whatever. That's why I knocked him out, because he was talking heresy. Why does it matter that he came in? We've got him in custody. Let's just bring him back so he could get tortured and then burned at the stake.
You shouldn't be so willing to burn people at the stake, Og.
He's a heretic. That's what they deserve.
Even so, sometimes a bullet is enough.
Of course a bullet's enough. I could just snap his neck right now, but that wouldn't please the Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
The big boss. I don't think that would please Mr. Sam. Would it, Sam? Og turns to you.
Well, regardless, Og, we need him alive at the moment, because what he knows may keep us alive.
The exit
I mean,
is not
of
far
course.
away. Sam, you finally make it out of this little corridor, and as you open the door at the other end, a wide natural rock cavern, slightly warped by heat and runoff, leads into the distance. There is this molten metal sort of spilled on the walls, poured through from construction burns. There are these stalactites, and the floor is, in some areas, potentially hazardous. As you walk across this cavern, it is also very dark. What kind of light sources do you have?
Stoplight.
Got lights on my helmet, and then also a glow globe. There's also a flashlight.
Awesome.
I've got multiple glow globes.
Your Christmas tree.
I'm a Christmas tree.
So you have enough light sources. That is not a big issue for you then. As you keep walking, you walk up to like a construction area, just this haphazard place full of like half-built scaffolding and platforms. As you walk further, you see a little bit of light from what looks like an opening in the cave. There is a shimmer of hope that beams down on you. However, one of the platforms just leads down into an endless abyss. It is... there are several platforms there, which could be potentially dangerous. You can do an acrobatics test to try to jump over them. Shouldn't be too hard. Acrobatics plus 10. But
Could I just can I just climb the wall?
Alternatively, you can try to look for other ways past this. If you want to do that, you can do a survival test with minus 20.
Hmm.
This is not good.
Climbing up the way this time. What condition is the rope in, Og?
I mean, not super good. I've got my grapple line still. That's Ogrin rated. Could I just climb the wall? Walk over to the wall and start seeing if he could scramble up that instead of trying to jump on these platforms or look for any other exit.
There is no wall readily accessible for you in this huge open cavern. It's a series of platforms leading up to what looks like a cliff, and basically a hole in the wall, barely visible through the corner of your eye.
I'm not going to be much help here. I'm probably going to destroy those platforms.
Indeed.
Og, I believe I may be more athletic
What? You mean acrobatic?
Yes.
Yes, but that still doesn't get us past the rather, shall we say, concerning aspect of Og's weight.
Og is gonna try to look around for another way, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, failure minus 5 degrees of failure. Or
All of you can
additional
do a
degrees.
survival test to try to find another way to get up there. Survival minus
I
20.
mean, worst comes to worst, you guys get out and you just send something to help me out later. I can stay in the cave for a little bit. I'll be hungry though. And thirsty. You could just... I would say you could just leave Juno with me. I could just eat him, but you want him alive, right?
We prefer to have him alive. Yes, that's correct, Og.
Right.
However, if it comes down to it, then, well, I'm sure the Inquisitor would understand. Right.
Everybody can do a survival minus 20. If you don't want to do that, you can do an acrobatics test minus 10.
Mike.
Yeah, it is gonna hurt.
Success.
And I'm not even gonna bother with our re-roll, cause no way in hell I'm gonna succeed on this.
Oh, so close.
Oh my god. Aaron, if you would like to, Aaron or Sasha, if you guys like to reroll, I can give you inspiration.
Sam,
That piece is rotten. Be careful.
I'm gonna give you that. You're one away. Sam, you do slide on the platforms as you jump from one to the other, and you finally make your way to the top. You're left dangling there for a little while. Finally, Castillo joins you. You help each other up. Standing there, you look back.
-4.
It is possible for you to now help someone. If you throw out a rope, they could rappel up, and you could try to pull them.
Sam looks for a solid anchor point from which to use some of his equipment.
The two of you can give whoever wants to attempt it a +20 for a total of +10 on the acrobatics.
Yeah, I'll just like right on ass plans as soon as he takes a step forward.
So you not having 2 legs is gonna make you not be able to do this. I wouldn't try again.
Fair point, Og.
So Alric, you attempt to make your way across?
You know, he doesn't even get through the starting area as he just slips on like a wet puddle and just...
You have a
ass
-4? Okay.
I've got a -4 too.
Alright. You both begin to ascend. Leaping from platform to platform. You finally, on the 3rd platform, just before you see your friends with the rope, you will slip. You will all hear this wet sliding noise of their boots right before you try to grasp the platform. Alric, you take 18 impact damage to the chest as you land on the ground.
Does
All of you can hear this distant thud.
Is this ignoring soak or?
This is not ignoring armor.
Okay, then that's
You
8 damage because I have 10 soak.
Morrigan, you take 11 impact damage to the chest.
Ouch.
And you have to try again.
Yeah, I'm at 15 critical again.
Morgan, lying on the ground, will roll onto your back. Slowly set up, pain obviously shooting through her body. And it's going to go, Maurice, come here.
As you wake up, Maurice comes fluttering down and lands on your shoulder. In the same moment that Maurice lands on your shoulder, you look over to the right and you just see something falling extremely quickly and a loud right next to you. The head jerks back from the force. Wing. Ulrich's head back, and suddenly a jet of blood just spews out of the side of his neck. It's like a pumping stream.
Fate point to remain alive.
The body just slides lifeless and a pool of blood forms on the ground.
So can I burn off hate points?
Fuck!
Am I like dead?
Ulrich, do you want to describe anything further about this?
Can I use a fate point to stay alive? Burn. Like dead.
I think you can use a fate point if you still have one, but you have to describe what. How do you not die from that?
At the last second, shifts to land straight on his back, and he just groans, not moving. And I'm gonna burn a fate point.
So what do we see now?
He's just flat on his back, not even moving, paralyzed.
Morgan, what he called actually getting sprayed in the face with his blood, is basically going to go and shuffle back, so there's a couple of feet before stumbling to your feet and going over and checking his pulse. Finding a very, very weak, very erratic pulse. Says she's going to basically turn around to Og and say, Og, and basically just shrug her shoulders and go, I can't carry him.
Yeah, at this point, already just vegetative mess, and you see like drool coming from his left.
Over the box, you hear Sam. What's taking so long? Let's get a move on.
Oh, Ulrich's dead again. He fell over and is paralyzed now, sir. Over.
Can anyone confirm? I trust you, Og, but
Confirmed he's barely hanging on.
Sir,
I don't know.
I could try to shoot my grapple line up there, and if you can catch it, and put it on something heavy for me, I could ferry everybody up with just climb instead of using the platform.
Is it just me, or is Og very robotic?
So Sam has already set up with his equipment something on one of these platforms, trying to weigh against or make like a double pivot point so that he can maximize the weight. that can be carried at any given time. He lowers the line in advance, way ahead of you, Og.
Put him
All
on
right.
first. Put him on first, Og, and what he called. Put him on first, and then turn your back as you hear the cracking sound starting again.
Oh. Yeah, I'll pick Og will pick up Ulrich, almost lifeless body, and I'll turn away from the horrifying squelching sounds.
Og, how did you get down there? Sorry.
I've never went up, so I was always down here because I haven't tried yet because I know I'm
So,
gonna fail.
from my understanding, you're still up at the platforms. You have not fallen down to the floor of the cave.
Oh,
Well, I
they're at
thought-
the floor of the cave.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were.
Oh
going...
shit.
No, you're about 40 meters down.
Ah,
Okay.
right. I thought we were going up.
30 meters. Yeah, my bad. I did not describe that well enough. Yeah, there's
Okay.
there's a bunch of platforms leading up to basically a hole in the cavern about 150 meters up, and the both of you are now at the bottom of this cave. There are a series of platforms built into the into these what looks like natural not stalagmites. What are they called? They grow up.
Stalagmites.
Yeah, stalagmites. So the platforms are built on top of those, and there are a series of those leading up to this hole in the wall where the cave has been drilled through, and that is the exit where you see Sam.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Morgan's going to go through her transformation and, well, using what looks like the last of her strength, basically just about manages to turn into the Raven and flies up. The second she is over the cusp of the hole, basically she will lose concentration and basically take a face plant into the dirt from about 3 feet up. It is, and looking at her lying on the ground, you can see she is a mentally spent force.
All right. Okay. I got to think here. Og like puts both of his fists on his forehead and like smushes down to like concentrate for a second. All right. I'm gonna go get Ulrich's body. And I think worst comes to worst, I think Sir Sam, Morgan, and Castillo, you need to go forward. Cause I'm not gonna be able to get up there. I can keep Ulrich from dying, and I'll keep Juno under watch. You guys go forward and get help.
Morgan.
Castillo, Morgan, assessments on situation.
There has to be something around here that can get them up. We can obviously get we can get 2 of them up. Og's the issue, but with enough anchor points, we should hopefully, if he's able to actually get close enough to some sort of perches himself, then we should hopefully be able to get him up. And if he does fall, then hopefully the armor will take most of the damage.
Morgan, after your bird, you're at the floor still, right?
I flew up, but I can't be at the floor.
You flew up, okay. Is Ulrich left down there alone?
Og is climbing down into the hole.
You're
to
climbing
get
down into
to
the wall.
Ulrich.
Og,
Yeah, I'm not using the platforms. I'm using the
Sure.
sheer cliff because that'll be
Do-
easier for me.
yes, it will. Do an athletics test at minus 30.
Minus 30 is fucking easy. That's like child's play.
You get a plus 30 on test to climb, by the way,
Watch him feel.
Oh,
and it supports
I-
up to 200 kilos.
Success with 3 additional degrees.
Sick.
Thought it was child's play.
It is. I just rolled bad.
In the middle of the room, you will see Ulrich left there. A poetic death. He, or what looks like it at least. There's a pool of blood under his head. A stream
Ulrich.
of blood is still running out from somewhere on his shoulder.
Ulrich, do you want me to give you the Emperor's Mercy, or do you want to keep going?
Ulrich, it is up to you whether you are half conscious or not.
Yeah, he's half-conscious. And he struggles to move. He also like tries to reach out with his arm towards Og.
What is it? What do you need?
Lift me.
I can't hear you, sir. You're mumbling. You got blood in your mouth.
Me, you. He's like trying to reach you. I said, lift me.
You just want me to leave you in the bottom of the hole, sir?
Lift me and carry me.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll go pick him back up, put him on his shoulder, and climb out of the hole.
Nice.
All right. You want? I'll roll again because I think I have to. Right. So 10. Yeah, success with 2 additional. Og scrambles out of the hole. It's a little harder with an extra dead weight, but he's used to dead weight, so he just climbs out. Just
Wait,
brute
did he
force
actually say
weight.
leave me?
No,
Me.
lift me.
Oh, it was a joke. Sorry.
Yeah. So Og picks him up, puts him on his back, brute forces his way out of the hole. He's now back at the normal level. He lays Ulrich's bloody, horribly mangled body down next to Juno, unconscious, manacled up, and then looks back up at the horrible problem of getting these people and himself up the hole. Oh, I've got an idea. Og is gonna climb down back into the hole, because you said there's scaffolding leading up from there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go down there. Do you want me to roll another check or?
No, it's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go back into the hole. I'm gonna take out the laser cutter, and I'm going to cut pieces of the scaffolding apart to give myself basically handholds, and fashion basically huge metal spikes for my hands, and I and climb out of the hole. Because you said there's stalactites, right? As well as the platforms. So I just have to get to one platform and then climb up a stalactite. And then I can climb over via, like, on the roof, stabbing into the wall to basically climb over to where they're at.
You know what? I'm gonna give you an opportunity to just climb the walls once you're at the cavern floor. You can potentially climb all the way up to the final platform. So you can do a minus 50 athletics test.
I'll do it.
This is a long climb. This is like free solo. You dust up your hands, put on the metal pieces, they wear out mid climb. You have to, change out. Really bring a water flask with you.
Before I do that, I'm going to lead over to Ulrich. I'll come back for you, sir. Don't worry. But the mission comes first. As I take up the body of Juno, put him in the backpack, basically. I stretch a little bit before I get ready to do the free solo.
I'm gonna say you're pretty pretty adept at tying people to your back now. You will tie his legs to one shoulder and his arms to the other, and his midsection around your neck, so you carry him like a backpack while you climb.
Success with 3.
Whoa. Nice. Yes, go ahead.
Og just horribly brute strength. The pure reason why Ogrins are abhumans. Just brute forces his way through the indomitable human spirit up this cliffside, up the wall of this cave, and dangles from stalactites and kind of jumps every once in a while to get to another one to manhandle his way to the cliff and lands and puts Juno's body there on the next to Sam. And then he turns around, salutes with the Aquila, and goes back down for Ulrich.
This entire room looks to be some kind of imperial construction that has just been razed and destroyed. There were probably stairs or some kind of bridge here at one point, all collapsed, scattered as broken metal at the bottom of the cave. You look back down. Ulrich is down there. And all of you make it over to the other end, except Ulrich.
Do you want another check then? At minus 50 to get me up there?
You guys tell me what you do. What do you mean? You know, you're all up at the platform, the final platform.
Oh, everybody's at the platform? We all made it? Alright. Wonderful.
Sam takes the remnants of his of cloth that he has ripped up, fashions a little thing to stop the bleeding of Ulrich, shoves it into the wound that is currently seeping blood. I believe it's his right shoulder. Turns it over.
So Ulrich is still at the bottom of the cave?
Right.
Is he? I thought he was brought up here.
How?
Yeah, that's what the confusion. I'm climbing back down to get Ulrich.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're doing 2 climbs.
Yeah, misunderstood.
I'm doing 2 climbs.
Got it.
I'm not leaving a single man behind. No one gets left behind. Ogren squad rule number 1. Fuck.
As he goes down, I'm going to ask Samuel Spade, do you wish me to give the Emperor's mercy so that we do not have the dead weight?
As much as I would like for us to gain speed, I think that in this instance, his unique skills may provide still useful for the Emperor.
Of course.
Castillo and Sam, you get an inspiration point. Og, do you want to reroll?
Yes, I'm gonna reroll that. It's 30. There we go. Success with 3 additional. Og, at this point, is incredibly tired. All of his wounds underneath his power armor are aggravated. He hasn't eaten lunch. It's getting to be dinner time, probably. Very angry, very grumpy. Og is gonna scuttle down the wall again, pick up the mangled body of Ulrich onto his shoulder. I have to make another check to get back up.
You all make it up. Ulrich is down there. You assist him with some first aid, Sam. He is stable. He slowly begins to wake up. And Ulrich, I'm going to say that after a few minutes, you do wake up.
He looks around and speaks. Thanks for not letting me die down there. I know I'm a bit of a trouble right now, but I will pay you back when it's my turn. Emperor be willing.
We don't leave no one behind. Rule number 1. No, I don't. Can you walk, sir?
Don't think so. But just in case, take my thunder hammer. I have no use in this for it in this condition. And he like tries to look towards the weapon on his back.
And while this is going on, Morgan will walk up to Castillo, stop so that she's actually facing away from him, but just loud enough so that he can actually hear. I wouldn't be so swift in dealing the Emperor's mercy. Remember, you were in that situation. And then it's going to walk past to check on Juno.
Fool, I would have accepted any order.
Sam, how much longer do we get to leave? Is this it, or is there more? Because I'm getting really hungry. And I didn't want to eat the dead psycho, but she's looking mighty tasty.
Autophagia will consume you before you consume this psyker.
What?
And he looks away, plugs away at the data slate, and gets an approximation of how much further it will be.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, Og, I do not have any more rations to give you.
As you walk out of this cave, you finally see Imperial construction. The walls are no longer natural cave. There are metal plates. You look up. It is a big dark room. You slowly reduce the brightness of your glow globe as you notice that you're in a cracked freight lift shaft. But it seems to have been claimed. You can hear voices in the distance, echoing voices. You look up. There are various platforms at the other end. Some of them are at your level, some of them are a little bit above on these platforms around the walls, and it is a large open, looks like an Imperial barracks of sorts that has been made into a makeshift base with beds, gun nests, dried bones. You see a gang of people wearing hoods, robes. Some of them just have cloth wrapped around their heads. Looks like protection from dust or sand. As you inspect them with your monocle and spend a little bit more time there in the darkness, you inspect these people. They seem to be a group of semi-feral tunnel scavvers. You look at the clothes of some of them. They look like former pilgrims, maybe even prisoners. Most of them are carrying blades, knives. Some of them are violent and push each other up against the wall, fighting over food. Whenever one of them comes in with what looks like some kind of metal rod over his shoulder, with some tied natural prey from the desert. They cook it, eat it. There seems to be a dark, booming voice from a leader, yelling commands with a gargly voice. The language is unfamiliar. They seem to ignore the entrance that you're coming from. The draft is noticeable, and you can sense and smell the outside at this point.
Should I handle this, sir?
Now that's some top tier thinking, Og, and I think so too. After all, I think that you're of a similar mind to them. You just may be able to communicate in the same way that they do. And here's a little something for your efforts. And he pulls out a few plastic tubes from his boots, cracks them open and offers them to you, Og.
Og
Just a
sniffs
little-
it. What is it? What is it, sir?
It's a hometown specialty.
Is it grease? I love grease.
Speaking of, from his other boot, he pulls out a plastic-covered meat stick. You know what? I'll sweeten the pot. All this for your tireless efforts for the Inquisitional effort.
Thank you, sir. Og doesn't even take off the wrapper. He just immediately eats it. Puts down the helmet again.
You taste extreme chemical sweetness. Thousands of calories are soaring through your blood vessels as they immediately disperse. And with the meat stick, you can taste almost pure fat. It's not good for you, but it's calorific, which is exactly what you need right now.
Just like in the God.
In short, they're analogous to like Slim Jims and Pixie Sticks.
Wonderful. Just like the God. This is amazing. Alright, everybody's fall in line, follow me. If any of them try anything, they'll answer to me. Og's gonna turn on all of his lights, turn on his horrifying Vox, the internal Vox caster in his voice box, and just shout, "Get out of the way! I'm going up the ladder!" And he's just gonna start trudging forward, not running, just an intimidating walk, basically.
Oh, you get an inspiration point. As you ascend the stairs, the rest of you will see this huge silhouette against the light from the outside. As you ascend, you begin to see your surroundings. You can hear your breathing in the mask. As you look around, this fog forms in your mask from the difference in temperature. You look around you, there's a fireplace. There's someone with a painted face. There's someone screaming. Suddenly you see one closer to you, and then you see red paint, wild eyes, a big open mouth, someone roaring and spit flowing out of their mouth. You see
roars back.
Symbols in this sump oil, painted in sump oil. Some of them look like figures vomiting this black goo, a warning perhaps. Some of the acolytes that you see, clearly some of these are rejects from the basilica. They look mad. Some of them have crazy eyes, blackened entirely. They yell and scream, and you hear their distant yells through your loudspeaker. The vault workers, heretics, and rejected zealots begin jumping around you. They're surrounding you.
Og just postures, screams at any of them that get too close, threatens to like hit them if they, not with his hammer, not yet at least, but threatens to like hit them with his fist. If one tries to like bite him or anything, it just punches it right in the face with a metallic power armored gauntlet.
There's just a handful of them around you right now.
Og doesn't care about these small ones. I'm looking at the big one. That's the leader. And I'm posturing at him. I'm like banging my chest.
Do an intimidation
Full gorilla
test.
challenge.
You get an inspiration point to do an intimidation test. I'll give you a minus 20 on this.
Minus 20. Success with 5 additional.
The men immediately go quiet. They begin to kneel. Some of them back off. You will see a man with bare chests. He has some paint on his chest, hairy chest, a long beard. He appears with a long staff at the top of the wooden stairs leading to the outside. He holds 2 fingers up in the air, And you see the men begin to back off as you walk past them.
All right. August created like a thoroughfare between this crowd of people and the elevator, and just looks over at Sam, nods, and ushers them to move forward. And if any of the little mutants or the gross little tribal people here like lunge at anybody, it's an immediate yell and a fisting into the ground.
As soon as they begin to approach, some of them appearing almost like hyenas. They like scurry around, especially around Morrigan. Two of them begin to approach her. You see some of them grab at her cloth, try to grab her arm. They grab her
any
arm.
of them,
I'm going to shove my shotgun into their face and get them to move.
They begin yelling at you. One of them spit.
She'll just hold up her
if any
hand,
of them,
which will start turning red. With
if
molten
anyone
fire.
touches anybody, Og is going to pick them up and just fucking yeet them across the room.
They do not seem to be posing any immediate threat. As you see them touch Morrigan and begin to pull at her arm.
Nah, fuck that. Nah.
Og's gonna grab the one that touched Morgan. Og's gonna attempt to grab him and like pick him up and like Bane backbreaker this guy.
Okay. Do you want to try to throw him?
Grab him. Yeah, I'm gonna try to break his back like full Dark
I'm gonna
Knight.
give you an automatic success.
Bane.
I'm gonna give you an automatic success on that. You can roll for damage if you want.
Cool. What would I roll for damage even?
This is a normal melee attack.
Okay, so just
So it's
roll the
D-
warhammer.
A D5, unless you have a talent that
D5.
gives you more. Plus
No,
your
I
strength.
don't. Okay. Slash. It's R. It's R/1d5, right?
R/1d5 and plus your strength
Yeah, +7.
and whatever else.
Oh,
You get.
that didn't work. /R1d5. There we go. That should
/R
work.
space 1d5.
Yeah, space. That's it. So 9.
9.
it,
you don't
it's
kill
the-
him, but you just knock him back against one of the pillars. You hear the sudden. He leans back on the pillar. Then you hear a loud yell from the leader. He begins speaking. You come from above. What do you do here?
That's none of your concern. I go back to the sun. You stay down here in the muck.
Do you bring a gift for the Great One?
No. I serve the Emperor.
He just looks confused at his servants.
He's the
You
greatest of all
must
greats.
provide an offering for the Great One, or you shall not pass.
I shall pull out 6 one-hour glow sticks. And I shall give it to them.
The chieftain comes down. He has paint on his face. He has what looks like some kind of skin from an animal wrapped around his long hair that is like braided across his head like a ponytail behind him. As he walks down bare-chested, he puffs out his chest and looks down at you, very serious and grim. There must be at least 20 people surrounding you. This is your gift?
6 one-hour glow sticks. It shall allow you to see in dim, and it shall allow you to blind your contemporaries.
He nods to one of his assistants standing next to him. He, out of a small sack, brings out a bone thought token, a scaver reliquary. He presents it to you kneeling. It is bone wrapped up, almost looks like a little shield. Take this. Protection.
May the light of the Emperor penetrate this deep, so it may find you. I take the bone.
We don't recognize the Emperor.
What?! I
kill him.
shotgun him.
I take out the hammer.
I shotgun him right in the face as well. Point blank hit.
You will see Castillo bring out his shotgun.
So that's gonna be a double. So that's 29 shot. That's 29 damage.
And just as he pulls the trigger, you'll hear Morgan shout, "Don't!"
Morgan, do you want to try to prevent it?
She'll try to slap the shotgun down towards the ground.
Okay. Sure. I'll give you an agility test. Or if you have any other method of doing that.
Let's try agility. No, she doesn't make it in time.
Yeah. And since that's point blank, it's double damage.
Og would also like to hit him with his hammer once he says he doesn't recognize the Emperor. If that's alright.
I don't think you need to hit him with the hammer. He's
I don't
going
think I need
be
to, but
missing,
it's
he's going to be missing the upper portion of his body.
principle! It's the principle!
Awesome.
Yes. He committed a tier 4 crime. You cannot do a tier 4.
The scav in front of you goes flying through the air, a big hole in his chest. You just blow out a part of his lung, and he just like spins sideways, lands up against some rocks. Huge pool of blood. You hear a loud shriek, and then you see several other men begin to unpack whatever bags and tarps they had over their weapons. They begin to mount around the surrounding walls. The men around you, the primitive scabs, immediately begin to jump at you, some of them like jumping at you and then jumping away back and forth. You fight them off pretty easily whenever they approach.
I shall announce. Under subsection 1, article 1, you have designated yourselves for immediate capture and execution. What say ye in your defense?
Initiative.
I'm going to attempt an intimidation, if you will.
Oh, don't start this.
Icon.
Okay. I will fix your token soon, Mike. Oh wow, you're still on that screen. My bad. You're going to see the primitive man be a nuisance. They basically keep you there, fighting them. So, Og, you're going to be dealing with these 20-odd something primitive people. Meanwhile, you see the rejected Mechanicus and heretics along the side of the walls. They have just been watching silently, wisely, looking at you. They will load their weapons. See. 16. Go. And Sam.
Alright, do we need to roll again?
No, you're
I'm
fine.
going
You're
to-
16.
Sam takes the opportunity to, after reeling from the shock of what has just happened, he's going to extend his fist, supinated, and from his forearm is going to unveil. It's going to open up and unveil a crack grenade, which he takes with his left hand and hands off to Og. You know what to do.
One of the men wearing a mask runs up to you, Sam.
Die, Imperial scum! Ah!
He has a huge club. He begins swinging at your head.
Left hand hotshot las pistol, without even barely looking, just out of the corner of his eye, shoots at him, going for a headshot.
Awesome. No dodge.
Dodge. Standard. Fire. Success with 1 headshot for 9 penetration, 7 to the head.
Excellent. And you shoot the scab. You basically hip shoot him, and he just goes flying back. This is a leg shot. You shoot his leg clean.
It was a called shot. Headshot.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot him in the head. He goes straight through his temple. Just goes through his brain. No sound. And he just falls sideways to the ground. Huge pool of blood. Morgan. I'm counting the numbers of them. You just reduce the number by 1. Go ahead, Morgan.
Okay, Morgan is going to pull out a smoke grenade, press the button, and drop it at her feet, knowing that she's already using her psychic powers to improve her awareness. And that's me.
Excellent.
Oh,
A
sorry,
smoke-
Sorry, she's actually going to shout. Essentially, no, she's not. No, she's just going to drop it, and that's it. So the smoke will go, and within moments she'll be covered and it'll start to expand outwards. And that's me.
Casillo?
Castillo is going to find the people that are on the balustrades and then effectively just scattershot them with a shotgun.
Trying to get as many of them as you can.
Yep. 4 successes. How many do I hit?
Wonderful. So you're going to hit 3 people with that. It's quite the crowd surrounding you.
Minimum damage 10, 13, and 14.
13 and 14. 10, 13, 14.
Yep.
Excellent.
Castillo will then go up next to Sam Spader and effectively attempt to bodyguard him while attempting to shove him behind armor. Cover, sorry. From the people that are obviously on top of the balustrades that are going to shoot down on us.
Awesome. Morgan.
Oregon is what do you call it? As the smoke slowly envelops her, she'll reach out with her mind, picking out certain bodies, and it's kind of like a haze, but sort of shows a Theral in her mind, and is going to just let loose with tirade after tirade of bolts of electricity. And it's going to shoot out, and they have a chance to dodge, but it is going to be aimed at the closest 3 of them, and it'll be 3 hits each if they don't succeed. So the first one will be hit for 8 with pen 4, second one 8 pen 4, and third one 13 pen 4.
Awesome.
And with that, she's going to start backing out towards the entrance, readying another smoke grenade.
You take out several of them that were wounded. Castillo shoots some of them, blasts off pieces of flesh. You just see them staggered. You eliminate a few more of them. And one of the scavs on the cliff wall in the distance, you can see him yelling something in low Gothic.
Traitors! They're heretics!
The scavengers on the ground, you begin to realize are cannon fodder, keeping you there as he unveils a rather modern weapon. He rolls with a cranked wheel this huge turret in your direction, and you begin to hear it clicking as it turns in your direction. It looks archaic, but it is pointed in your direction, and you can try to dodge Morgan and Og.
I will bodyguard Morgan if he fails to dodge.
I'm going to try to dodge it.
Castillo, Morgan, and Og.
Success with 5.
Castillo, Morgan, and Og.
That's a dodge with success of 5.
Sick.
Okay, everybody's dodging. I might as well try to dodge, even though I'm not.
Success of 4.
Yeah. 4 additional. Oh, does Sam need to make the dodge check?
Huge explosion goes off in your midst. You will jump out of the way. You see this flash of light and then this burning ember as they begin to reload. Another one of these scavs just pulls out what looks like a flamer and begins running down the stairs.
Die! Die!
He points it at you, Ulrich.
Ouch.
You can do an agility test.
Yeah. Do I get any penalties for?
So you can just dodge, normal dodge.
Okay, normal dodge.
And if you fail that, you can do...
2 degrees of success.
Ooh, sick. You jump out of the way of the flamer. You see these flames just fly right past you. The cave lights up. You're dancing on flames for a second, and then you just skip away from it. You can feel this intense heat next to you. The one of the other people on the edge will begin slinging what looks like some kind of hook around over his head. It's a chain with a very simple grappling hook at the end of it. He rolls it in your direction. And Sam, you can attempt to dodge. If you can.
Yep, step aside. Dodging. Oh, I cannot dodge. Fairly weak.
I'm going to bodyguard.
Let me try to shield first.
Okay.
It is a projectile of
successful
sorts.
shield.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, it is a sort of projectile. So you will see this huge hook just like bang, clanking to your shield. A huge orb forms around you. It lands into the sand on the ground with a thud, and this puff of sand just flies up around you. He begins dragging it back angrily. One of the scavs will come running at you, and he will charge you from the side, Castillo. This side. What? And it slams it into your right leg.
You are
I'll bodyguard
filth.
Castillo.
I'm not sure if they can beat my damage threshold.
Come on, describe what happens.
Og's shield just blocks the attack fully. Just kind of pushes Castillo slightly out of the way and fully just shield bashes this guy in the face.
So he's hitting Castillo.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm bodyguarding Castillo, so I get right in the way of it. Yeah.
Cool. He slams into your shield and bounces
He's using a melee weapon?
It's a melee weapon.
Cool. In bodyguarding, since it's targeting me now, I'm going to parry him.
Yes.
The shield. 20.
So describe your actions more, guys. As we're rolling, as we're doing stuff.
Sorry,
Describe vividly the scene, what's happening.
This guy overhead slam into Castillo's leg. Og effortlessly, just with one flick of his wrist, this shield pops the weapon out in the air, and Og's hammer comes in, slamming down towards his midsection as I counterattack. Oop, I fail, so he dodges out of the way. Too quick for Og, but
Awesome, beautiful description. You get an inspiration point, and you see this foe just scurry back. He actually is terrified of you. Whenever they get too close to you, Og, you seem to command some kind of fear upon anyone who gets close to you. He begins running away after failing this, or at least doing some kind of acrobatic roll as he just tries to get back, and he will drop his hammer. You will also see that they are beginning to reload it as one of them lights a fuse. What looks like a canister tied to a stick, and he holds it up in front of him. For the Great One! And he starts running at you from behind Ulrich. No dodge?
Remember, I already used my dodge.
I don't need to remember that. You need to remember that. He runs at you, and he is hitting you, and then he will actually trip on the way over to you, and his stick goes into the ground. And when he's about 5 meters away from you, like a pole jumper, his pole will stick into the sand, and then you hear a and then suddenly he just goes up in flames. You see him flailing around on the ground as he burns alive.
Ulrich just like stares at whatever that was, and just shrugs his shoulders and just turns his attention to some other enemy.
Og, I already rolled my stuff. Og, seeing that he's this horrifying, terrifying presence to all the chaff enemies in front of them, is going to try to clear the way. Success with 5 additional degrees, so I will be targeting 5 different people. And also the shield with 1 success. I am a whirlwind of death as I go around just bashing people in the head, throwing them off, killing as many of them as humanly possible.
Sick. I'm gonna say 3
unavoidable attacks. So,
yep, I'm gonna say 3 people are within your reach that you can walk towards and then hit. And you can do the attacks.
They're all lightning attacks, so they have unavoidable attack, -50 for the Warhammer, -10 from shield, if they want to try to dodge.
Yes. No successes on dodge. Everybody failed.
Wonderful. So cool. So there's just 3, and I have 6 full attacks.
So you have 3 targets, and you can distribute your attacks.
Right. So 2 to each. So I'll just do boom, boom, and then 1 for
They all
the
die.
shield.
They'll die.
Og just screams in a blood rage as he's just thwacking bodies across, just moving forward. Mainly, he's trying to get all of the attention onto him instead of these guys shooting everybody else. Is that all you got? This is pathetic. That's me.
Awesome, you get an inspiration point, and you see that the group of feral scavs from the wilderness who worship the Great One are beginning to panic. Some of them run away in fear. You see one of them run out of the cave as someone tries to hit him with a spear, throwing a spear at him as he runs. The rest of them stick around to fight. You will see a huge hand-cranked cannon gets turned in your direction. And Morgan, Sam, and Ugg, you can do a dodge test.
I won't be dodging.
You will not be dodging.
I will bodyguard Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Successful 2.
Nice. So you're letting it hit you?
I'm letting it hit me, and I'm also fully covering Morgan, basically just stepping in front of all of the hail of bullets. So my huge towering frame just blocks all the bullets or the las fire.
Got it. Ugg, you take 20 explosive damage. To the left arm. The shell will hit your left arm, and it goes off just as the metal tip hits your left arm. It goes off, and your left arm flies back, and you all see the impact in his arm, then a sudden flash. Sand kicks up everywhere, huge explosion under your arm. You feel this heat enveloping you. You take 20 impact damage to your arm.
Any penetration?
This has 2 penetration. And
okay. I technically get hit twice because I am blocking Morgan.
Do you take any damage from this?
No.
No, it completely is soaked.
Yep, full
Cool.
soak.
Cool. Then you don't take the critical effect, because this was a righteous fury. Cool. You're fine.
I also
Morgan?
take Morgan's hit though, so
Yes.
you need to roll that as well.
Morgan,
And if it's the same spot,
Morgan, you only take the hit from the explosion itself. Secondary explosion, you're gonna take 8 explosive damage to the
That's fine.
face, to the head.
That's fine.
8 explosive to the head. So a burst of
I'm-
flames. Mhm.
I'm bodyguarding Morgan. She's not taking any damage. That attack hits me instead.
Yeah, this is just the residual from the heat.
Oh, okay.
It's just going around hitting her. You take 90% of this. Og, what do you do?
That was the scav. I already done. It's not my turn. It's
You have
Mike's
2
turn.
turns on the thing.
Oh, sorry.
It's you're listed 2 times.
Delete
so
the
you already
one.
went, right?
Yeah, I already went.
There we go.
So
Alric.
yeah, he channels like as he sees this tower, he immediately realizes that that's the immediate threat, and he's just gonna try and summon this majestic firebird, fire eagle that's shaped in the Holy Empress Aquila, and he is ouch. Actually gonna fail. But I'm gonna use one of my fate points to reroll, so
Okay.
let's try this again.
Seated.
Oh wait, I read wrong actually. I did succeed.
Succeeded
on
by
that
1.
Yeah, I
It was just a
succeeded by
success.
1. Yeah, sorry, ignore that. So and damage. That's boom, 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 boom. 0. 23 energy damage.
So you kill him.
I'm aiming at the tower.
The turret?
I'm trying to like get the most evidence.
You destroy
Get the
it.
operator.
You destroy both the turret and the operator. The
So
turret is on
at
fire.
The fire eagle soars into the sky, dive bombs into the turret. You see like this enormous explosion lift up the turret and just take it to its core until it just ash, and the operator just vanishes with it.
Awesome. The operator begins burning. You see him just shrieking at the top of his lungs, falls over the contraption, and it begins to crackle as the explosive burns. He is left there, sort of these small pops go off. And as they go off, you see more of his armor begin to burn, until finally he's just laying there getting barbecued over his own turret. Next. No, the guy with... You mean the guy with the flaming stick? He barbecued himself.
No. There was a person with a flamer before that.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Still alive. Okay, perfect. So Sam turns around at this screeching between the person who claimed us as heretics and the other who had self-immolated, and he turns around, looks at the situation, and zones in on the canister beneath the flamer, levies his hotshot las pistol, pulls the trigger. So that's called shot, by the way. So 8 penetration, 21 penetration, 7.
Got it?
Yep, to the canister.
Very nice. The guy with the flamer reloading it or adjusting the canister is flickering with it. He looks up, and as he spots you, Sam, you're shooting him, right?
I shoot the canister that he's reloading.
You will shoot the canister and hit it dead on. It explodes and begins to burn in his hands as he drops it. You hear this, and as he holds up a hand, you see the hand burning. He like holds it against his face, slaps it a couple of times. The Prometheum begins to burn his pants. He kneels down and you see him just crawling on all fours, shrieking as the fire spreads.
Cleansed by fire. And that'll do it for me.
Awesome. Morgan.
Morgan, after she's been bodyguarded by Og, is basically going to spin out of it, look up to the gangway where the sort of Mechanicus guys were. You'll see under her hood a flash of red as she clicks her fingers, and this gentleman here will suddenly feel the air around him, and if you're looking at him, you'll see it slowly start to shimmer as his body heat suddenly spikes through the roof. He has a chance to dodge if he wants it.
Each token represents a group of people of a certain faction.
Well,
just to be clear. Yeah,
okay.
just so that you understand, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you try to hit one of the techie guys. And you do hit them.
Okay, what they'll actually sort of feel is suddenly the immense pain, and then they'll just go boom in a blinding white flash as their bodies just explode in every shape, manner, or form. There's nothing left. They're basically just burnt up from the inside.
Awesome.
And with that, she'll pat Og on the side. You'll hear a thank you come through the thing as she slowly starts to make her way towards the entrance still.
Very good. Next.
Castillo will see the crack grenade thrown by Spade earlier. It does a single bounce. He slams the metal grating on his side, causing it to sort of flip into his hand with absolute practice that he has honed over a decade's worth of infiltration and busting down doors. He opens up the lever, releases it directly into the group of Mechanicus heretics, throwing the crack grenade directly in their midst.
Crack grenade is a point weapon. It is not an explosive. It hits 1 point and it's a penetration weapon meant to penetrate tanks and armor. You can theoretically hit a person with it, but it wouldn't detonate on a person's flesh. It detonates
and the turret is
metal.
gone.
The turret is gone.
Well, they are Mechanicus, so I am hitting metal.
Fair. So you're pointing the crack at one of them.
Yes.
Cool.
Effectively the group, getting as many as I can. Effectively hitting the front one and having the crack kind of splinter out and make the first person turn into spalling. And effectively,
can destroy one target, so it's more like a spooling penetration pressure weapon. It pushes in and creates pressure, so it will effectively destroy one target. It doesn't have any spread effects.
In that case, I'm gonna go for the one that looks the most heretical and the biggest.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you shoot it? Do you throw it?
I roll this, and I add +4 successes from my grenadier.
So you throw it. Awesome.
Yes.
How far can you throw?
It is gonna be it's gonna be 18 meters.
18 meters. You have no problem hitting the most armored one. You will sling the crack grenade. It like flies through the air several times, hits his shoulder, and you hear and then a thud. And with that, you can roll damage.
It's gonna be a delicious 2d10 +4, 12. Penetration.
plus 12 concentration.
Plus, yeah, it's 12 explosive damage
12 explosive
with
damage.
6 pen.
With 6 pen. Okay. The tech priest will implode. And you just see his chest just implode as he collapses up against the stone wall. One of the techies will run over to the cave wall. He's yelling something in desperation. Flee! Comrades! He yells over to some of the people standing next to you, immediately recognizing that most of them are dead. You just see him take a skip back and run out of the cave. Then, from the rope, you will see a big-built guy, a huge guy, charging down a freight slope and attempting to bull rush you, Ugg.
Oh.
There is a small slag pit behind you, and he's basically attempting to bull rush you. Imagine like a football tackle. Ugg.
Can I do anything about that, or
Of course,
I'm not
you can
sure.
always do. Can
I
always
just
do
like
things.
stand strong. Ogg just stands strong and just wants to just try to take it, like push
Mhm.
against him.
Cool. Then
Braces for impact, basically, behind his shield.
awesome. He will slide down, and as he does, this seems to have been some kind of contraption they prepared in advance. As oil spills down on your feet, and he has some kind of electrical device, you will hear a crackle sound as he slides into your legs, attempting to make you just take one step back. You need to do an agility test, -10.
That's not good. Oh! Success with 2 additional!
Oh, no, not 2. Bro. That was lucky. As the oil catches fire, you see him lay on your feet. He looks up. His grand plan has failed. He looks into your eyes, realizing that he is doomed. You see him just close his eyes as you swing the hammer down, pulverizing his face. You take a step over the oil spill, and the rest of the combatants, too terrified to fight, flee or get cut down in their attempt to flee.
Castillo's gonna use one more shotgun shell to pepper the last ones.
Punish the heretics on the way out.
Ogg is chasing out after a few of them to kill them.
Awesome.
I'm going to shout out to Og, "Let them flee in their heresy! The Emperor shall have them! Now we must complete!"
Fantastic. You eliminate the last of them. You just the only thing left is the moaning of the dead. You
Castillo
look
is
down,
gonna
some
go
of them are
over to
grasping at your boots.
Castillo is gonna go to each one and gonna do the Isaac stomp onto their heads immediately.
Oh, yeah. American History X, curve stomp
Yeah.
all of the dead ones. Dead
Yeah.
and dying.
The
Suffer.
anyone that looks to be of sufficient rank or sufficient filigree, I shall use my manacles to arrest.
Everybody's dead. The last of the Lift clan dies, gurgling in the dust. He has a soot-covered chest caved in by the Ogren's hammer. His rustling lungs breathes out one last time. As you get closer, you hear him praying to the Ash God.
Silence, heretic! Smash!
Praise the... And then he looks into your the barrel of your shotgun, and you hear the last breath of the Ash Clan as his head gets caved in. The only sound that remains is the hiss of the flames on the ground and the slow drip of melting metal. As you step over them, your boots crush the bones, the broken masts, and the oil slick beneath you. The clan's reliquaries, various strings of teeth, rusted equipment lay behind you as you climb up towards the light. The freight shaft above you will squeak with an ancient strain as you force open the last rusted grate. You will suddenly see daylight. It is not like warm sunlight. It's cold, grey, overcast, and a small cover of ash clouds. You can smell
Samuels.
a distant smoke. You made it out.
Thank the God Emperor.
Samuel Spade, I require a moment to clean myself of this filth.
Do what you must. Sam surveys the scene, undisturbed by this request. He tips down the brow of his fedora and looks out at the scene, trying to take in where exactly they might have exactly exited, based on the sun's position on the landscape.
Will you allow me to, since that I know this city, well, know where we are?
Aga is taking out the teeth and pulling off the skin of multiple lower jaws that he has taken from the deceased combatants and putting them in a bag.
Awesome. You look back at the crumbling ruin. As you look up, you see rock and snow melt, eroded sigils, statues, a little bit of moss on some of the walls, and somewhere up above the hills, you will see the looming spires of the basilica. You're far, far beyond the basilica walls, deep in the foothills west of the palace city. Only logging convoys and exiled zealots can make it out here.
Castillo is going to make the cloak once again cover him, and he's going to effectively use some of the rags from the filthy fucking scabs to clean his boots and whatnot, just a little to hide the blood. And he's going to go over to Morgan. I still have the skull of the Xenos within my possession. Where do you wish to place it?
Ideally on the desk of the Cardinal.
There is heavy wind, dust and snow, sand and snow, mixed. You look around at this barren, strange landscape. It's cold, freezing. You have to cover up with your environmental suits. The cave opening provides some cover. In the distance, you can see the silhouettes of the scavs running, fleeing. You stand there in the open.
Well, it won't be long.
Aug's gonna take.
I guess that we obtain transport and potentially reinforcements.
Aug is going to take Juno's other boot off and begin gnawing on it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I shall begin. In fact, I think I'm going to call in. I'm going to ask Samuel. Samuel, do you wish me to call in the arbiters? They shall be here in 1.7 minutes.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
I believe that we can still. I believe that we can still do this independent of the arbiters. However,
they shall.
We do have enough information. We do have enough information to ensure that our presumptions, our hypotheses were indeed correct.
They shall provide us with secure and discreet transport. At least discreet in the sense that they will not know that it is us.
Og is gonna raise his hand.
Yes.
Shouldn't we just report back to the Inquisitor and ask him what he wants us to do now with all our information? Maybe he wants to do something smart with the politics.
If that is the case, then discretion is the better part of valor.
In any case, we need to patch ourselves up. We need to re-equip. We need to have a moment to rest. I know that at least I realize that all of us are battered and worn. A night's rest might do us good in this.
The adrenaline.
So we begin the march then, sir.
What was that, Og? You had a little bit of shoe in your mouth.
Sorry. Og takes the half-eaten shoe out of his mouth. Should we begin the march then, sir? I can sing a marching tune.
Castillo, how long would it take for your forces to meet us here? Provide us with the reinforcements and anything else that we may need, if need be.
1.7 minutes. Depending on severity in which you wish. If you wish for primary action, that is the time. Oh. I don't have arbiter counter. Hold on.
How are you contacting them?
Through standard channels.
You got a Vox on you?
No. I would request one.
Oh, I don't think any of us have Voxes.
Then I am unable to contact anyone.
I think we got a march, sir.
You definitely have a box.
We do?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't anyone speak up?
I don't know.
What?
I don't have
It's
a Vox.
too late. It's too late now. It's been forgotten.
Aaron, you know you have a Voxcaster with you.
It's too late now.
I don't have
It's
a
been
Vox.
forgotten.
Sam, looking off into the distance, trying to come up with some kind of plan for this, looks to the sides, hears some squabbling, and something about a Vox.
I don't... Do you have one, sir? I have a Vox jammer. If that's helpful. I don't think it is.
He removes it from his ear, the earpiece, and with it is a huge ball of wax. Tosses it in your general direction, Castillo, and looks back into the distance, pensive.
And out of the corner of your eye, what do you call it, as you're actually just catching that, you'll note that Morgan has actually been noting something down on a notebook. It says,
Do you
and
have
whenever she,
notation?
I do, but it is none of your business. And she'll slap it closed and put it back in her pocket.
I meant not that. I meant added information that you wish to give. For example, your opinion on me calling the Arbiters, rather than you calling the Inquisitorial acolytes at your disposal. I am no longer an Arbiter by name. I have been requisitioned by the Inquisition. I will be calling them in an official capacity, not private. As such,
Og
we
raises
shall
his
need to
hand.
be...
Well,
Oh,
let's see.
our cover story was we're enforcers, right? Why don't we just call for a pickup from that?
I am new to your agents. I do not know what reinforcements you are able to call at this moment.
Well,
If you have a
Og will
better
turn his-
idea, it will be appreciated.
I mean, are we gonna try to go back to the Basilica, or are we retreating to the Inquisitor?
I assume that you have some sort of network.
I don't.
Indeed.
That's not my series of expertise. I kill things, sir.
Indeed we do, and potentially calling on the Arbites and calling in another organization while we have a dead Inquisitional agent in our possession may, do you not think, raise a few questions and a few eyebrows?
As
I
well
have
as a
given my
Xeno head.
I have given my suggestion. If you wish to not call upon them and simply go to another position, you may simply just say so.
I think we should just contact the enforcers we were supposed to be a part of, and then we can just leave.
I shall clean the tiny Voxcaster, and I shall hand it to Morgan. I fear they shall not recognize my voice if you contact your agents.
Right? Cause I don't remember what Sir Sam said, but I think he said our cover was still good. Why would we call in anything official like to ruin the illusion? Cause
Yeah.
no offense to you, Sir Castillo, but our beaties aren't very subtle. They're kind of like me.
Once again, it is merely a suggestion. If you have others, I am willing to hear them. If you wish for another solution, please go ahead with it. However, Samuel Spade has noted that we have enough information to simply circumnavigate this now. However, if you wish to go about this with more silence to continue, then allow us to continue. I shall go over to Samuel and hand him the Voxcaster again.
Morgan will
Unless
touch her ear. Will touch her ear and basically speak into her wrist, saying that this is the Inquisitional agent. And as she's just about to say her name, she stops and says, "This is Morgan. Please send a Valkyrie transport with Inquisitional agents on board."
You're trying to contact someone on the Inquisitional frequency?
Yes.
Okay. You will hear the Vox unit hissing to life. The rest of your devices will crackle with the radiation and all the impact damage. You see some sparks fly from the device, from the stress. You wait a little while and hear a distant voice that then grows and grows and grows louder.
Signal acquired. Clearance Theta Chias confirmed. Tertiary loop engaged. This is Echo. Confirm who is still breathing and what you've touched.
I can confirm that we are still breathing, and, well, we'll tell you whenever you're on the ground.
Clock's running. This channel stays open 4 more seconds.
We've touched nothing.
Copy. Pulling logs. Matching your feed. Extraction conditional. Light a beacon.
And she will take out a small homing beacon and push it once.
It burns ultraviolet, and a very dim smoke rises slowly, very quickly grabbed by the wind and disappears. About 20 meters later, as you sit down and brace for the cold, you will hear a thunder above you as the clouds fracture. A rotor thunder above you. Some huge lander is just piercing through the clouds and immediately begins descending on your location. You do not recognize this. It is a large lander. It will land right in front of you, and you will see 2 heavily armed and armored operatives exit. It looks like a modified Aquila lander. One of them will point a plasma rifle at you.
Identify yourself.
Morgan will reach into her pocket and pull out her Rosetta and put it onto her her coat. Says, and will walk forward and say, I am Morgan. Who am I speaking to?
Black Echo. Get on. Keep your heads down. And we were never here.
Gentlemen, our ride has arrived.
Wonderful.
The ramp rises.
Og lugs the horribly maimed body of Ulrich.
The gunship will slowly begin to rattle as the engines flare up. The ground vanishes behind you as you all make it up to the ramp and look behind you. You will feel this tug in your gut as you feel it lift up in the air and as you float through the clouds. The agent will look at you, take off his helmet. Who is he? Pointing to Juno.
He is someone He is someone who's coming back for interrogation. Perhaps in
He was our objective, sir.
Your objective?
Yes.
Understood. He,
He's
after you provide...
He's that big important guy.
Are you still carrying the body of Miriam?
I am, yes.
He will point to her. And what about the body? Did you lose someone?
She was an agent from Redactus. We rescued her. She got killed by the metal men.
Ordo Redactus.
I shall open my cloak to reveal the skull of the Necron. And I shall place it onto the center.
You can see visible blood disappearing from his face. He turns pale.
Yeah, it was bad.
His lip quivers. He takes a step back. Is it real?
Yes!
Oh, yeah. We're reporting back in to see what the Inquisitor wants to do, because that place was fucked.
There was crypts that animated multiple. It was not a singular.
Yeah,
He
there was
nods.
4.
We'll take you back to your cell. Visuna Regis, right?
Yes.
I can't remember.
He nods, slides back into his seat, and the last sight you
Three
have is
rations?
of mountain tops disappearing under you as these little hail and snow hits the windshield. You descend down through the valleys and begin to hover towards Visuna Regis. Everybody gets 300 XP.
Woo!
And
Oh.
that's where we can end it.
Wonderful.
And now I shall finally be able to spend the sick, nasty XP, dog. I got 1.